Good morning to everyone from here in Tehran, where we've come to take a closer look at the parliamentary elections that are taking place later this week. We're inside a country where no Canadian journalist has visited for the past 4 years, and we were wondering whether our impressions from the outside would jibe with what we're seeing here on the ground. And you know, Carol, Iran is a lot more open a society than we ever imagined. People here criticize the government openly. They go to restaurants, they shop. It's like any normal society. But in other ways, freedoms here are strictly curtailed and controlled by the government. And as we discovered when we met some of the young people here, that's created a lot of disaffection, resentment, and even anger. Just how much will these elections change the lives for the young people of Iran? We went to find out. Have a nice time. Busy Tehran, where 14 million people crowd together. The city where most change in Iran begins. But above the din, one voice is rarely heard. Kuliamer is a 20-year-old rapper in a country where rap music is outlawed. Just singing this song in public about the divorce of her parents can get her arrested. Kuliamer is her nickname. It means gypsy. She doesn't want to use her real name. She's part of a growing underground youth scene in Iran that's creating their own kind of radical dissent.
My country is not paradise. There is a lot of problem, but our government doesn't like to pay attention to this problem.
And do you ever write political songs? Do you ever denounce the government?
Not only me, but other rappers denounce the government, because teenagers these days in Iran know that there is a lot of problem and we want to solve this problem. So we think about this.
Some of those problems, like high inflation, high unemployment, and concerns over the international sanctions against Iran about their nuclear energy policy, are playing a critical role in the upcoming parliamentary elections. And you can see all the billboards for the conservative and reform signs around me and the pamphlets of candidates promising their solutions. But in a country where over 70% of the population is under the age of 30, many of the young people we spoke to in cosmopolitan areas like this don't believe that any of the parties are dealing with the issues that really matter to them.
As a young girl in this country, I don't have any motivation for vote, because it doesn't make any difference.
I won't vote because I don't agree with Republic Islamic, and I think it doesn't change anything in Iran.
Even in Tehran's Grand Bazaar, often seen as a base of conservative support, young people are vocal about their disillusionment. And they're openly expressing their dissident views, even about President Ahmadinejad.
I think when we say something about a president, say something wrong in the TV, is other country think bad things, bad situation about us. They say, okay, maybe we are really terrorists.
Mehrdad Ghazvinian is a 28-year-old businessman. His family has been selling carpets for 4 generations. Do young people feel frustrated?
I think most of the people will not go to the vote because there is not anybody between them. The people will be interesting and they can believe them. When we see all of these people cannot do anything and they will continue like this, we have a problem for economy. So I think most of them will not go, like me.
One of the reasons people like Mehrdad will not vote is that it's not a totally free election. The Guardian Council, which oversees elections here, has to approve every candidate who runs. And literally, thousands of candidates for the opposition movement have been disqualified. But nonetheless, the election campaigning goes on. Mustafa Tajzadeh is one of the leaders of the opposition movement. He was disqualified as a candidate, but now runs the entire campaign. A strong vote for us, he says, sends a clear message to the world that Iranians are fed up with Mr. Ahmadinejad's policies. It's that sentiment that's motivating other young people like Fariba Paju to participate. She's a writer for the opposition campaign's website, and she's worked for various newspapers in Iran that have been shut down by the government.
Still, we can have a little bit action, to be active, to change everything. I don't know, maybe after 1 year we meet each other, and I tell you that no, I'm hopeless completely. But until now, I'm a little bit hopeful.
But there are, of course, many other young people who support the government and the more traditional values President Ahmadinejad represents. Mariam Sadeghi is a 23-year-old art school student. I'm satisfied with his policies, she says. Life is good. But in the underground music studios of Tehran, life is clearly not good enough. The illegal sounds of angry young people like Kulimer go louder, hoping or raging for real change.
Evan, the impression in the West is that Iran is run by a tyrant who gives the people very little freedom. Your piece is suggesting something different.
You know, Carol, when I first told people that I was coming to Iran, what I heard most often was, be careful. I think in people's minds, Iran is like the former Soviet Union with secret police lurking around watching every single move. But it's not like that at all here. The Iranian people are extraordinarily warm, generous, and welcoming. Everywhere we walked, people approached us, they wanted to talk, introduce themselves, and they often